Hi, I'm Lee Cumberlidge and I'm the co-founder and co-creative director of Illuminate Adelaide.
Hi, my name is Rachael Azzopardi. I'm the co-founder and creative director of Illuminate Adelaide.
So Illuminate Adelaide is a new major event for South Australia focused on music, art, light, technology, and it really is about celebrating some of these forms and bringing it out into the public domain. So we've really sought to seek out some of the amazing work that future technology companies and creative industry companies as well as individual artists are doing in this area and bring it out for the public to enjoy across the CBD of Adelaide.
Illuminate Adelaide's a new winter event for Adelaide. It hasn't typically had something in the winter time in Adelaide in South Australia, so we really wanted to put South Australia on the map, work with local artists, interstate artists and international artists to really bring a focus to creative industries in South Australia.
One of the highlights for me was Light Cycles. This was our biggest project in a way. It was our kind of marquee project in the Adelaide Botanic Gardens, where we worked with Canadian multimedia studio Moment Factory and developed a new site-specific experience for the garden, which involves 7 installations that involve lasers, projection, lighting, and just creating immersive experiences in the different parts of the garden for the public to enjoy. And it took more than about 10 months to develop over closed borders during the pandemic, so it felt like a real achievement, and it's something that we're hoping to build on in the future.
Another highlight for us was City Lights, which was a free program throughout the CBD of Adelaide. It took in 3 precincts, the North Precinct, the West Precinct and the East Precinct. It was over 40 installations from artists all over the world and local artists that really with projection mapping, VR works, augmented reality, interactive technologies that the public got to wander throughout the city and really immerse themselves in the city and look at the public realm in a completely different way. So it's something that we're really proud of.
Well, I think generally we're really overwhelmed by the response, the numbers of people, the diversity of the audience as well. So we had from diversity in terms of their background or in terms of where they come from, their age range as well. That was a real achievement and something we really were working towards with the program. Anecdotally, I think the feedback was great on the experience. The public really were captivated by what we had to do. I think they enjoyed walking the city as well, like really getting out in winter and being active at that time of year is not something that you necessarily have the opportunity to do in this way. So I think from that point of view, it was well received.
And we do look for artists that like to work with technology in the light technology realm, but also more conventional, sort of a sculptor or a painter. We can also, if they're interested in working in the public realm and really wanting to break out of 4 walls, we can put them together with a tech company or a technician that can actually bring their work to life, and that's what Illuminate Adelaide, a bit of a difference.
The key difference, if you like, about Illuminate Adelaide and the use of technology in how we produced it is that it gives us the ability to use the whole city as a canvas. The kinds of projects that are coming to us and that we're looking at take place often in site-specific ways. So we might choose locations within the city where artists can project onto buildings or occupy a public space. So we're talking about civic spaces, we're talking about laneways and gardens and lawns and courtyards, building facades, foyers of buildings. It gives us the ability to really change up where it takes place and really engage the fabric of the city in the program in that way.
And the broadness of our program, obviously we also have music as a key element of our program, so found spaces, not necessarily concert halls or spaces that normally have music in them, as well as just the broadness of being able to bring a whole city alive rather than just particular venues is something really important to us, and it's been a really exciting way of looking at what we program and where and how.
We are engaging new and cutting edge technologies, but what we're really interested in is how those technologies are used in the making of art or in this telling of a story, and I think that's where Moment Factory really do excel, is that they're really thinking about the whole experience of the audience and of the place in which they're working, and they do that, they achieve that with these technologies, and that's not easy to come by, an artist or a company that really knows how to do that. And I think we see that a lot in the performing arts, where we both come from in a way, that storytelling and that human experience is really central to those forms. But it's harder to find when we're talking about bringing arts and technology together and artists who know how to engage technology in that way. And that's true of our free program as well, so not just Light Cycles, but the installations we program that people can engage with. It's true of the music program when we're looking at what musicians are doing and music artists and ensembles are doing with technology as well, or in visual art with our permanent public artwork as well.
Yeah, and it's making technology emotional and touchable and feelable, not just something behind a screen, but actually making it interactive, and whether it's 3D technology or the latest laser technology. And it looks simple, but it's not necessary. But I think those things brought together create something really special.
So in terms of opportunities for artists, I mean, we actively seek existing work, so artists who have a repertoire of work that's available to be programmed, and we then find a space in the city, so that's one kind of opportunity. The other opportunity is to look at site-specific approaches for particular artists who have an idea, or an idea that might have been delivered in a way in another place or another program that we think can be adapted for a certain site or purpose here within our city and within our program. We then do commission quite a lot, and not just existing studios or artists like Moment Factory, for example, but emerging artists as well, locally and nationally. And I think this is a really important and enjoyable part of our job. Takes a little bit more time, but often is some of the most interesting work we can do when we're talking to artists about what that new opportunity might be and how they realise it with us. And as Rachel said before, we often work with other institutions, whether it be education institutions like the Adelaide Central School of Art, around programs that their graduates or students might be able to be involved in terms of how we produce a work together.
We really give artists a platform to show their work and to create something new and sort of go out of their comfort zone, maybe, that, again, if they haven't used technology but they've been wanting to try it, it's giving them the sort of tools to be able to do that and show people.
We do work very much in collaboration, so it's not just opportunities for artists within our program, it's opportunities for the cultural institutions, the galleries within Adelaide, even the businesses to sort of engage with the program and light up their shop fronts, or host a work on the front of their building, or there's a number of ways or levels of engagement across the city, and we've worked really hard to make sure that we do engage the city more broadly, that it's not just about artists and creative industries, it's about a more holistic approach to creating a festival in Adelaide.
I mean, I think Lee and I, from our past and working internationally and nationally as well, we felt it was really important to bring that to South Australia, to be able to offer local artists, but also national and international artists, another platform for work, but also our audiences to experience something that they hadn't got to. We were lucky enough to travel around the world and see different things, and we just felt that that wasn't happening as much in South Australia.
Yeah, I think we saw the opportunity for a real crossover between audiences and projects being presented or technology being developed here in Adelaide. There's been a lot of great work happening in South Australia along those lines, and I think we saw the opportunity to engage a really broad and diverse audience in the arts who may not seek out that experience because of the type of projects we were programming, and vice versa, really encouraging artists to think about engaging new technologies in that way, so that over time it becomes a new opportunity for both to explore and experiment.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of performing arts, more traditional forms of art festivals, but I think light and art technology festivals, there's more coming along, but not as many, and so to give those artists a broader field to play with, not just a more traditional festivals, was something really important to us to open that door.
Well, I think there are examples of cultural storytelling through visual mediums, like Atong Atem's work on the front of the gallery. Atong is a Melbourne-based Sudanese-born artist who created this incredible work, Banksia, which was this sort of meditative visual kind of representation of her family, her life, her culture in a contemporary setting. And I think that really, in such a prominent location, that really did achieve that in providing, a really diverse Adelaide audience with an experience of a different community.
And also just at home with the Indigenous community, we had Elizabeth Close and Jack Buckskin, wonderful local artists, create a beautiful canvas for a giant lantern skink, and then Jack told the story, that associated the the beginning of man and woman, so in the Indigenous story. So there were different cultures within Illuminate Adelaide, whether they're locally Indigenous or again from overseas.
I think our philosophy is twofold. It's looking at what is the new technology, at who's using it and using it well in terms of creative applications by artists or creative studios. Is it telling a story that we care about, and how does an audience engage it? Is that effective, that audience engagement? Those are the sort of things we look at in terms of how we can present these projects, particularly in the public realm. In terms of the challenges, I think therein lies the challenge, and we find that a lot of applications are very architectural, or they're very gamified, I suppose, and kind of interactive in a cold kind of way, but how does it really engage with the human being? I think that's one of the key.
Yeah, it's about experience. We want everyone to have an experience, whether it is a wow experience or it's something they're uncomfortable with, but it's bringing artists and technology together that tells the story, as Lee said, tells you something, moves you in some way. It's not just a flat screen, but you really delve into it and you feel change for it. And finding artists and technology melding that is a challenge, and we're always looking for the newest thing too, and companies that are telling those stories, and we've been lucky that we are finding them and we're connecting with them, and the more we connect with them, the more companies we find.
We're dealing with an audience who's generally extremely literate in terms of the use of technology, whether it's on their own phones or on their game consoles at home, particularly in the younger generations. They're being more literate than we are in terms of what's coming and what the next and latest technology is. So, our challenge is to really not try and stay ahead of the curve technologically, otherwise we'd be a trade show in Silicon Valley just trying to, demonstrate what the future holds. That's not what we're about. We're actually about using not only new forms of technology, but existing forms of technology that really push the boundaries of the human experience, and the nature of storytelling in particular is really important.
And the unexpected experience. People went to light cycles and felt emotionally, were crying, were emotionally spent in an exciting way, but never thought when they walked in to light cycles that they would feel that and they would have that journey. So to actually give them that experience, something that they can take away and feel, is why we're doing what we do.
What we're presenting is very visual by its nature. So we're able to overcome a lot of barriers between the art and the audience in that way, because the projects are coming from all over the world, from places that don't speak English necessarily. But I think there's also the kind of divide between the language in the arts and the language in the technology sector too, that we do kind of have to bridge in this world, particularly when we're making new work and we're talking about audiences and their experience, and a technologist is talking a technical language about something. And I think we're guided again by what is the final output that we're trying to create together, and how we collectively work towards that. And that's where our kind of producer brains kick in, and our team as well, of people that help us put the program together, really help facilitate that process of making new work.
So internationally, it's about telling different stories. So we work with different artists from across the world, and their stories come out through their art, which is a really lovely way to bring audiences, different international or different cultural stories to people in a gentle way, in a communicative way. It's not necessarily a spoken word, it can be a visual thing that can tell that story to someone that wouldn't necessarily see that in Australia. So I think technology can really cross all those cultural boundaries as well, and sort of give people a different experience. And interesting to see something from a different culture in your own country as well.